Right, it's time to talk finals day, reflecting on a record equaling third triumph for Somerset, in which Will Smeed was instrumental with a brilliant 94 from 58 balls in the final. Congratulations, Will. It's always a great occasion, isn't it? But even better if you win it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it's probably the day in the calendar that at the start of the season every cricketer looks to be a part of, and fortunately enough, we've been there for the last few days. But yeah, it was an awesome day, awesome evening, and yeah, I'm sure we'll look on back on it with fond memories for a long time to come.
Will, take us to the final. I mean, you got through the semi-final, but there was a challenge in total that you were up against.
Yeah, for sure. I think at the halfway stage, we knew if we played well, we could get there or thereabouts. It was a really good wicket. I think the dew sort of came down and it felt like the ball came on a bit better than it did earlier on in the day. But yeah, I think we knew if we batted well and one of the top order took it deep, we'd be there or thereabouts. And with the power we have coming in down the order, I think we always knew that if we kept the rate sort of around 10 to 12, we back ourselves to catch up from there.
Well, it's the longest day in cricket. Yeah, I'm sort of I think I'm semi-obsessed with what the team do who win the first semi-final for those 4 or 5 hours. I mean, what time does the day start? The nervous energy. How do you control that? Waiting for the second semi-final and knowing you're in the final.
Um, well, so last year we just stayed at the ground between games, and we found that sort of cooked us all a bit. It didn't feel like a proper switch off.
Yeah, yeah.
So this year we all went back to the hotel. Some lads just sat and had a coffee. I played cards with a lot of the boys. Just tried to switch off from the game, and yeah, that time went pretty quickly. To be honest, we probably only had an hour and a half or 2 hours back at the hotel, but it definitely felt better this year. And then going back to the ground, arriving again, it felt like you could sort of go back into getting ready for a game as you always do.
You had some, big characters stand up in throughout the tournament. I want to take, talked about the sort of the final itself. You mentioned, holding your nerve and talking about sort of 12, 10, between 10 and 12 and over. And if you could keep your nerve, that would be enough to get you over the line. I want to go back to the sort of quarterfinal, and I want to go back to the last seven balls because watching on TV, I wrote you off. I was thinking,
Yeah.
Sean Dixon doesn't get on strike for the last over. You're not winning because I didn't back Craig to get 19 off the last over. But what was it? What was that like?
It was incredible. I think pretty much everyone that watched it said it's the best innings they've seen live. I guess, yeah, the emotions there were just ridiculous to go from feeling pretty far behind the game to Sean doing that, which to be honest, he's done that quite a few times for us. He's dragged us over the line from a seemingly impossible position. But yeah, it was ridiculous. I think it's one of those where that was his night, and yeah, I mean, there aren't many words to describe that knock. I don't think it will be forgotten. I think it was that special that people will remember that for a long time as sort of potentially the pivotal moment in the campaign for us.
What about the format this year and the changes for next year? There was obviously a lot of talk about finals day taking place about 2 months after the final group games, um, and teams being without their internationals, the England players. I'm not dragging you down the road of controversy here, but it was probably less than ideal, such a long break before quarterfinals and finals day. Are you aware of the changes for next season, and do you think that the finals day being in July will be an improvement?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's tricky as it is or was this year because you completely lose any momentum you've built up through the group stages, which I guess if you finish the groups poorly could work in your favor. But if you've gone on a bit of a heater, it's hard to stop for a month and then come back on and try and continue where you left off. But yeah, I think it will be a nice change for next year, going back to it all being done before the 100, and hopefully means it'll be a bit warmer as well come the end of the night.
Well, you cross over. You play the 100 as well as the blast, and we see the emergence of the 100 where the best play the best. over the course of a month. And whether there's controversy of that, of losing August, that's for a different argument. But I'd love to know about a player that's played in both the Blast and played in the 100, because the 100 and the Blast seem to be two completely different tournaments, where this year I think there's been a lot of brilliance. I mean, individual brilliance in the 100,
Yeah.
but not many good games, not many close games. But if you look at the Blast, there's been some brilliant games of cricket. All four quarterfinals were very, very good.
Yeah.
And then the finals day was exceptional, where the 100 finals day, I mean, it didn't live up to the building. Do you think there's an ongoing problem, or do you think there's an issue where you think the 100 just needs time to sort of get better?
I'm not really sure. I think a lot of it might come down to with 20 over cricket. People have played it a lot, so they know what they're doing. They know how games tend to go. Whereas the 100 still feel pretty new. It's quite a difficult format to get to grips with. On like, no one knows what a good score is still, or chasing. It's hard to know where you want to position yourself, and yeah, I don't know why it's sort of panned out like it has, but yeah, I mean, like you said, the Blast this year particularly, it felt like all quarterfinals were really good games. And finals day was the same thing. All the teams felt really close, really evenly matched, and yeah, I'm not too sure why that is, to be honest.
Is it, as an opening batter, do you have a different games, a different game mentality, a different mindset? Do you think differently when you're going out in the 100 compared to when you're going out in the Blast? Because it may be different for a middle order batter, like you say, setting up total, but it seems, is it still the same amount of freedom as an opener?
It's different. I'd say it feels different. I think you feel 6 overs feels a lot longer than 25 balls, just from like the power play point of view. I think a lot of especially the way we've looked to set up innings at Somerset this year, a lot of the time we'll be not catching up, but going really hard, sort of over 5 and 6 in the power play. And obviously you don't get that in the 100, so you kind of need to be more on it from ball one. And like you said, you're facing some pretty good bowlers with a brand new ball in the 100, so it's not easy to start really well all the time. But yeah, it just feels like there's kind of that added pressure from a top order perspective to try and get off to a flyer, whereas yeah, 20 overs feels a lot longer.
Well, I'm infamous for asking two questions in one, because I'm always worried about forgetting to ask one. So where is Somerset County Cricket Club? Is it healthy? It's not one of the test venues and not 100 host. So how's that going? How's Somerset doing? And also, I know you're probably sick and tired of talking about this, but can you give us a recap on where you are with multi formats now and red ball cricket?
Yeah, for sure. So I think to start with, Somerset seems in a great place. I think there's a really good core of senior players there and a lot of exciting youngsters coming through. So I think, yeah, the future looks bright for Somerset. And yeah, so on the multi-format thing, yeah, just keen to play as much as I can. I think I've really enjoyed coming back to red ball cricket this year and being around the lads more, playing more cricket, spending more time in the middle. I think it's been really beneficial, and I just feel in a great place to enjoy my cricket at the moment and be wanting to play as much as possible, which I think that's the position I want to find myself in as much as I can going forwards.
Do you feel as though that's helped you over the course of this last 12 months, that going back to red ball cricket, hitting more balls, being around a group more? Do you think that's helped Will Smeed become the cricketer you've sort of gone on that sort of back up to that forward trajectory over the last 12 months?
Yeah, definitely. I think just there's no substitute for time in the middle facing bowlers. I think that's something I've really noticed this year. You can train all you want, hit as many balls as you want in training, but it's just not the same as batting in matches. And I think that's been the big thing for me, is just, yeah, facing more balls. I've been desperate to score runs whenever I've played, even if it's sort of second team red ball cricket. I've been wanting to do well and trying to hit a lot of balls. And I think, yeah, that's just transferred into all games, just feeling more comfortable at the crease, just in a better place with my game in general.
Might have been a bit trickier in the semi-final if Lancashire had Salt and Butler opening.
Yeah.
Did you watch them against South Africa?
Off whatever they did the day before. Might have been tricky.
Did you watch that? Did you watch them against South Africa?
No, I was out for dinner, but I watched the highlights after, and I mean, yeah, 300 in a T20 is just ridiculous.
So you did watch it because it was just, I mean, it was just a highlights package, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
that's the level though, isn't it? I mean, that you said you've gone back into red ball multi-format cricket. You've had a good season. Is that the level that you aspire to? Do you think, right, I want to get, and I don't know where your calendar is over the course of the next 12 months, but do you feel as though watching these guys on the TV, the pitches that they play on, and international cricket, another couple of good years, and that could be me.
I mean, I think international cricket's what everyone aspires to play in. I think the 100 is actually a great opportunity to be around the international players, and I think that's when you really see the difference, I guess, that there is a difference between good domestic players and the international guns. So I think, yeah, that's what everyone aspires to do. I think for me, I just try and focus on the cricket I'm playing in at whatever time that is and trying to perform and do well in that. And wherever that takes me, I think I'll be pretty comfortable if I've put in the effort to do well, then whatever happens, happens.
Quick word about Sean Dixon, made runs in the final and he's
Yeah.
packing his bags at the end of the season. And also, how about that 18 off 5 from Lewis Gregory?
Yeah, I mean, Sean's been incredible for us over the last 3 years, I think it is. Like I said earlier, he's won us so many games that probably has gone unnoticed. Yeah, he's a great guy to have around the group, and he's a great guy to have on the pitch. So we're not looking forward to playing against him next year because I'm sure he's going to save some runs for us. But yeah, it's been great playing with him, and Lewis, same thing. He's done that time and time again. When I got out, obviously it would have been nice to get us over the line, but I had complete faith in the guys coming in that they'd do the job. And yeah, it was probably a fitting way to finish with Sean and Lewis out in the middle.
And sorry, man, what's to come? What have you got on the horizon? Where's Will Smeed going to be playing his cricket before April next year when you have to come back to the freezing cold of Somerset? Have you got many away trips over the course of the next 6 months?
Well, there's still a county champ game next week, so I'll see if I get the call up for that. But I'm going out to Canada in October to play. There's a little T10 comp, or not little, but there's a T10 comp over there. So I'll be out there and then do a little holiday at the end of that. And then the SA20 auction was last week, and I got picked up in that. So
good man.
That's my winter as it stands, and yeah, I can't wait to get back out to South Africa because yeah, it's an incredible country. I loved my time there last year, so I was buzzing when I got picked back up to go out there.